Quite possibly my favorite fake problem is manspreading. A problem that doesn't really exist, that no one really cares about, and is inflamed by grifters and liars on the internet. One of my favorite fake outrage videos comes from Vox.com, in which they just overtly lie about everything happening as they explain to you what manspreading is. They wanted to cash in on outrage. It worked. I kid you not, go check out this video. It's from Vox. It's like heavily thumbs down. And there are sections where, the woman hosting it says, "This man blocked these women from sitting by manspreading." But when you can actually see that train's like empty. The women who are standing just chose not to sit down where there are open seats. It makes no sense. So yes, manspreading is fake, but it's a really good example of how getting outraged on the internet can affect the real world. So while we can all joke about how Twitter isn't real life, the reality is it does have an impact. We've seen advertisements in New York talking about manspreading. You don't see them talking about fembagging, which is the phenomenon where women put their bags on seats more so than men. But in the end, there's a couple simple reasons for why manspreading exists. For one, guys have things down there and they like to give them air. The other thing though is I read something about, it's called the Q angle. And because of the angle of the femur and the muscles, it's uncomfortable for men. They just naturally sit with their legs spread. Now, of course, if you're gonna put your legs out full splits to block chairs, yeah, you're being a dick. But for the most part, guys have, they sit with their legs slightly open. Women sit with their knees together. And it's just because it's just what men are. But here's the story. Let's not waste time. The end of manspreading. University student fed up with men infringing on her public space wins National Design Award for creating chair that restricts how they sit down. Yes, she won an award for making a chair in which it is harder to manspread. Let me explain something to all of you. Well, actually, let me say this. Everybody who watches me already knows I'm just preaching to the choir half the time. But I just want to stress, when a guy sits with his legs open on a train, the last thing he's thinking about is enforcing the patriarchy. In fact, he's probably not thinking about his legs at all. He probably just sat down. That's it. But it's really weird how you have all of these feminists and women and male feminists who believe that men lurk around the shadows desperate to reinforce patriarchy. Most guys don't know what patriarchy means. All they know is, I got sweaty junk and I want to sit down with my legs open. It's a hot day or something like that. Period. So let's take a look at this chair. Actually, before we get started, head over to timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. There's a PayPal option, a crypto option, a physical address. But of course, share this video. YouTube is de-ranking independent commentary and propping up big corporate players, which means the only way my channel actually gets growth is if you guys think it's worth being shared. If you don't, leave a comment explaining how much you don't like me and we'll move on. From the Daily Mail, they say, a university student has won a national award for designing a chair that stops men from manspreading. Oh, good for her. Layla Laurel, sounds like a superhero name, 23, created or a villain name, created the piece of furniture to stop men from widening their legs and encroaching on other people's personal space. 2 bits of wood are cleverly positioned on the seat to physically stop whoever is sitting down from moving their legs apart. But hold on, there are 2 chairs. One of them forces you to manspread? I don't quite understand. And so this one, it's shaped weird. It's completely unnecessary. Oh my, it's so unnecessary, seriously. It's shaped in a way so where it's like this. So when you sit down, your legs can't go. It's just the silliest and stupidest thing. For one, it's not a problem. And what is this? I just sit in that chair. There's like a peg in between your legs. It says, Lila Laurel Left has created an anti-manspreading chair, pictured right, which forces men to keep their legs together while also designing a chair for women with a wooden block strategically placed to make it less attractive to men. What is that? What? How big do you think my junk is? Hey, it's not bad, but come on, I can sit in that chair. This is just it's so fake. Why is this a part of our reality? It's just complete fake nonsense. So let's scroll down. They say the University of Brighton student who is graduating next month won a design award for her work, which is part of her 3D design and craft degree. So let's take a look at this. First, here are the 2 chairs. She says men wouldn't want to sit in this chair because of this wooden block. That's literally a manspreading chair. A guy will sit back and spread his legs. It sounds like she purposefully made a manspreading chair. The female chair pictured left allows women extra space and to sit more comfortably. So she made a chair that forces women to manspread? Do we call it femspread? I have no idea. Here's the thing about how ridiculous and stupid this chair is. You want to make a chair where guys can't manspread? It doesn't need to be shaped like a triangle. You can literally just make a chair and put railings on it. And then guys would have to lean forward if they wanted to spread their legs, or they can sit in and there's armrests. So let me just stress, a chair with an armrest solves this problem. In fact, chairs like this exist everywhere. This does nothing. God, everybody is so nuts. They say the word manspreading was added to the Oxford English Dictionary in 2015 following an online campaign against the practice since 2013. The dictionary definition is the practice of a man sitting on public transport with his legs wide apart, taking up more space than he needs and preventing other people from sitting down. And let me just explain to you the very simple solution. We need not make new chairs. We need not put advertising campaigns up. We need only say, excuse me, problem solved. Here's the bigger problem. Can we come up with a word for like passive aggressive behavior from women where they don't just simply say, excuse me? Is that not normal? Do people have such like social anxiety disorder they can't walk up to a person and be like, oh, do you mind? That's it. I've taken trains all the time. Why are we even still talking? Oh my God. The fact that someone would win an award for this and that people would write about it and then I would comment on it. I think it's funny, by the way. Like, the only reason I'm really doing this because of how absurd it is, and it's funny to talk about. I don't want you to think like this is some grand scale problem. No, it's funny, it's absurd, our world is crazy, and there's nonsense every day. No one is going to put these chairs anywhere. These chairs are meaningless, they'll never be implemented. It is just complete absurdity, and it's a waste of time. And let me just stress, this is what your kids do when you send them to college. Learn anything interesting in college, my dear child? Any great philosophies? Did you study some great thinkers in past battles? Did you develop a cure for a disease? No, I made a chair that will never be used by anyone to make some point about a made-up problem. And how much did that cost you? Oh, I'm in debt $40,000. Congratulations. College, everything you could have hoped for your children. Let's read on. They say Miss Laurel, who graduates in 3D design and craft from the University of Brighton later this month, has been commended for her innovative creation. There's a famous story, I don't know who said it, it was like the head of the patent office in 1899 said, everything that can be invented has been invented. I think that's it, I could be getting it wrong. But I really so desperately just want to say something like that because this is where we are. And I kind of feel like, I understand exactly why someone would say that. Because when you have like an award-winning, college-educated designer putting together these chairs, which literally do nothing, if a guy wants to, he can just put his legs up over the little side bumps. They get an award for it. Congratulations. Your degree will help you do nothing. Let me stress. If I was gonna hire somebody and I asked them like, oh, like what's your highest level of education? They said they went to college. I'd be like, interesting, what did you learn? And they showed me this chair. I'd think they were like less qualified. I'd be like, ooh, you shouldn't have told me that. Like, it's actually bad. Like, that's what you did? Look, man, let's be honest. If I'm gonna hire somebody to do a job, I want them to have experience in something legitimate, not making silly chairs that will never be used for no reason. Let me stress this. This chair on the right, for those that are watching, it's shaped like a triangle pointed forward so that men can't spread their legs, but they could quite literally just lift their legs. There's like little bumps on the side. Not only that, a regular chair with armrests solves the same problem. She invented nothing. She made a silly chair that does nothing. She wasted her time in college. This is one of the biggest problems with college today. Man, I feel really bad because I know a lot of people, like, let me tell you a story, okay? We get it. Manspreading is ridiculous. Let's read a little bit more. She won an award for emerging talent in the design industry called the Belmont Award, which calls for imaginative and cleverly presented ideas. Speaking about her inspiration, she said, "It came from my own experiences of men infringing on my public space. Have you ever considered..." Excuse me. Has that never crossed anyone's mind? With my chair set, I hope to draw awareness to the act of sitting for men and women and inspire discussion about this. The student said she was shocked happy and honored. I too am shocked that you won an award for this. A solution for manspreading. When I was like 19, I was hanging out with I think I was like 20. I was hanging out with some younger people, like 17, and they were talking about what they were going to go to college for. And they were, and one of them my friend and a bunch of her friends, and one of them said like, "What are you gonna do when you graduate college?" And I was sitting there with like my skateboard and my skin tight jeans, and I was like, "I'm not going to college. I didn't finish high school." And then one of them says to me like, "What are you, stupid? You're gonna like work at McDonald's." And I was like, "Is that what you think the world is like?" And then this one girl says something about taking like a design class or like, I don't know what she was taking. And she was like, I'm going to graduate and I'm going to be making like $70,000 a year, like in my first year. And I started laughing. I'm like, you think when you graduate college, you will just get a job like that pays $70,000 a year? And she was like, remind me like something to the effect of like, tell me how things go for you with no high school diploma. And I was like, sure. Here's the best part. So they were a few years younger than me. By the time they had graduated, I was a director at a nonprofit, admittedly not making a ton of money doing this, but it was a passion thing, like I wanted to work for nonprofits. I felt like I was good at it. And it was a low salary of around like $36K a year. So admittedly not 70, but I was like 22, 23 at the time. And 20, maybe I was 23 or 24. I think I was 23. But one of these kids was working at Starbucks, okay? They graduated college and they got a job at Starbucks and they were making like $10 an hour. And I'm like, admittedly not the person who was gloating to me. It's not that epic of a story. It's not that happened. It was a group of people and one person was mean, but in that group of friends, a couple of them had gotten like fast food jobs and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to be a dick. Like I'm not trying to rehash this old thing and like poke fun and laugh, but my point stands. Look, when you graduate, you have no real world experience. You have none. And so when you go, and this is the craziest thing to me, because I remember I was looking at all of these job postings, trying to find a job, and they all talk about how they wanted a college diploma. Well, guess what? I was a director at a nonprofit with no high school diploma. Because I'll tell you this, when it comes to a business, when it comes to my business, when it comes to any business, all they want to know is, can you do the job? Now, some people say a college degree shows initiative. No, it doesn't. I'll tell you what a college degree shows. It shows a woman who made a nonsense chair that does nothing. Is that going to benefit my business in any way? What if I made like staplers? Okay, and I had a management job open. Admittedly, not what someone like this wants to do, but I need someone to design new staplers, which requires creative design. Am I going to be impressed by your triangle chair for your made-up problem? No, not at all. But I'll tell you what, that kid who worked in his garage and built weird and wacky things is going to be like, oh, I got a good idea. We could do X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C. Because I used to do that in my garage. I'd be like, this is the guy. This is or the lady. Let's not play into their tropes. The point is, look at what you get from college. And admittedly, I don't want to act like, so here's a picture of a guy sitting with his legs forward. He could just lift his legs up if he wanted to. I don't want to act like college is completely useless. It's just mostly useless. If you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, or actually work in academia, well, then go to college. But if you want to run a business, if you want to design things, what are you doing wasting your time? Pull up Adobe, pull up whatever program you use, CAD, I don't know what you designers use, and start designing stuff. When I learned how to video editing, I didn't go to how to do video editing. I didn't go to school for it. I do all of my graphics, all of my design work. I didn't go to school for it. I just started using the programs and tried doing things. And as time went on, I got better at it, tried to figure out how to improve things, and found designs I liked. And now I have a bunch of templates that I built that are actually kind of complicated. But what do you get? Congratulations. If you put this chair where the woman is sitting with the block, does it like... What do they think? Do they think like, oh my God, I don't know. It's just welcome. Oh man, the internet has made everyone psychotic. Everybody's nuts. But thank you for the laugh. I greatly appreciate it. And what a stupid news story. Stick around. The next segment will be at youtube.com/timcast coming up at 4 p.m. It's a different channel from this one, and I will see you all there.